Hi, I'm Mac McCandlish, and
Nathan.
Nathan's jumping in this time. We're looking at a pack. We've got Bone Splinters Removal, Demonic Taskmaster, which is the card I was telling Nathan about that forces you to sacrifice a creature. We can put the card preview up here. And then, nope, that's not cart. Card. See, now we can see the dude.
Okay.
This card I like, I tend to want to be blue-green, of course, in the set. So it's either like Nettle Swine to mask the components, but maybe Stonewright. I feel like I kind of get sucked into red when it's not the best. Fervent Cathar is really good too. There's a lot of sort of mid-range, decent picks here. You can kind of cut green, which could be nice. The rare here is not really that exciting. It just does insane things. You can try to read it. We got 18 seconds. So do we really want to be Stonewright, Fervent Cathar, Demonic Taskmaster? It's, I'm not. I'd rather pass a black signal. Stonewright is not the best, but he's not. If you're going to end up red, you might as well be. Okay, and the black comes now. The green and the blue is pretty weak. The black is good. Really good black removal. Thatcher's Revolt is really nice in the red deck, but it's premature to take it. Whereas if you were black, you're definitely playing one of these two. The Righteous Blow is nice too, but I don't want to be white with what I'm seeing. I think it's really one of these two, and I tend to think it's the Gloom Surgeon. If you're going to be black, you might as well have a Gloom Surgeon. Because when he would take damage, instead you discard cards, or you exile cards from your library. So he can block anything and attack and not worry about you dying. You might mill yourself, but
right.
So, and this is some of the best removal. But the Gloom Surgeon still sort of turns things around. I'm not committed to black by any stretch of the imagination though, because I don't like it in this set. Here, the blue is really crappy. The green is actually, this is a very good green card. So at this point, we kind of have the decision of. The red is dried up, so we're going to sort of ignore red for now. If we want to get in on this guy, which when he dies, you basically can take out another creature, which has a lot of synergies with black's dying thing.
Right.
And I'd be more likely to take this if I had taken the black card first, but I didn't. So this is not necessarily a huge green signal, but he's really good because if he gets buffed up, other things can't block him, and he just keeps getting in there. It's really nasty.
Right.
So
then you have the red to go with that, right?
Maybe that's true. These do go together really well.
If
That's true. If we manage to get that going. So
it's either that or what's
the other stuff is okay.
It's
It's just not. It's picks that we'll consider soon.
Okay.
I think we're gonna risk green being good. This is an interesting choice. Okay, the black is still there, but it's not as exciting as our other choices.
Right.
All three of these cards are really good. This will win you the game straight out because you tap as many creatures as you can tap. You do 3x that much in damage. So you can steal games with this guy.
Expensive too,
and it also can remove a creature. This is really good end game for green. He has the same thing going on as the Wandering Wolf, but when he dies, he comes back as a bigger creature one time.
Okay.
Which is really nice. And Mad Prophet's really good for filtering through your cards. So any of these...
That's kind of a old blue move.
Now it's moving into red. In a way, where in red you have to discard first, though. So
it's a 2/2 for 4.
Right.
And
so we have a...
So
he's really
you can't
good.
Pop him back.
So, right. Well, we only have 10 seconds here, so this card is good in the earlier game. This card could cut green, though, and this could send a red signal that could get red sort of out of our way, but this is really powerful. So I'm going to go green because I have a higher believance in green than I do in red. These two really go well together because this guy can give you and somebody else 2 creatures will have Death Touch, and if you get that with that, then you can be killing creatures left and right. It looks like we're going to see a lot of bad things happening to us from black, but I'm going to keep cutting green because I want the green to come back to us in pack 3.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out what our second color is. Okay, so the green is pretty much dried up. This with card draw, this will if you're milling with blue, this can kill them because you both draw cards.
Okay.
I don't care about that at this point. None of these cards are really that exciting. I don't really want to be here. Where I'm a defender. It can make the difference, but
it's a body.
Yeah, none of these. The red's gone. The blue is not good. The green is not good. The thing about this set is that there's fewer playable cards. You almost want to take this just in the offhand chance that you have some application for it, because I'm not really losing much. the white is the only thing showing up here, so it's really these two cards,
Nobody's getting white.
maybe this one. Yeah, white's coming through, not good white. I'm gonna take the defang. If I end up in white, I'll want to defang. Again, there's just not much going on here. There's a cloud shift, which will flicker our dude. This guy can be played in most decks. He's just a 3/3 for 5 that can get bigger, but he only gets more power. He doesn't get toughness. And this stuff's mostly crap. This can be good in blue, but it's an enchantment, so your guy could get bounced and you lose it.
Right.
So I don't really have a good reason to be white, so just have a backup creature. He's usually worth having.
Just a body.
Yeah, I mean he can pump, which is nice. A lot of black has come through on this pack. This is an absurd amount of black. Because this is great. This is great. Blood Artist, I find, is kind of nice to... you can slip him into a lot of decks, sort of. Because he's going to turn the tide in life when things are dying your way.
Get him out early.
I'm less likely to want to play Bone Splinters unless I'm heavily black, so you have to sacrifice a creature.
Yeah.
So... I'm probably not playing white at this point. Wow, see, Bone Splinter's tabled. Nobody wants to play black in the set. It's crazy.
Pick it up.
I don't like this card either, so none of these are exciting. I'll take the Bone Splinters, I guess. I don't really want to be... Yeah, see, this guy taps and nobody wants him because he's cost 4 and then tapping costs 3. And there's not enough zombies to care about his other ability.
Right.
If I'd taken the rare, maybe I'd be in on Dreadwaters because this will mill. But I'm not excited. We really didn't do well this pack, to be honest. There wasn't it wasn't like we were past great stuff either. Just grab this thing, sure.
Cookies and cream ice cream?
In a minute.
In a minute. I would rather maybe have cookies and cream. Sounds nice. None of these cards are any good.
Some land.
This card I kind of like. This card, if I was blue, I'd like. If I'm going to end up black, I'm going to take this. This will save our guy and kill their guy.
Okay.
Take another of these guys. I can't imagine I'll play 2. And look, this thing freaking wheeled. Stupid rare that nobody wants.
And then there's your land.
I have seen that rare do good things, but you need the right combo. You need to have something that's going to mill them. Like, you can put a bunch of counters on it, and then when you tap it, everybody draws that many cards. So if you're ahead on... If they have fewer cards than you, then a couple taps of that you can win.
So now you're...
Wow, this is an interesting pack.
So this is...
So we have amazing red cards. And we don't have any good cards in any other color except Crippling Chill's decent. And this is good in the deck that has a lot of flyers, of which we have 0. So you have a Planeswalker. He's not actually necessarily as good as the Malcontents or the Thundering Wrath, and we're not very red. And even if we take him, we're passing a red signal. People are going to think red is open no matter what happens to this card.
Right.
But we're not losing anything. There's nothing here except if we really want to be red, we'd probably take this, but you're still then passing a huge red signal. So this pack is kind of a blank for us.
Okay.
I think we just take this guy and then we probably don't get to play him.
Right.
This guy is interesting, but we don't have any blue cards yet. I'm not going to take him just for the fun of taking him.
Yeah.
Trusted Force Mage is amazing. He becomes a 3/3 and he makes the other guy bigger too.
Which is good for your wolf.
Yeah, it's great for the wolf. I think the only other possible choice is the Shade, but I'm not that excited about that kind of black commitment. Yeah. Whereas I do want to be green, and the red is nothing. The red is nothing.
Oh, what's the... Oh, there's nothing.
It's just not so much. I mean, if Amazing Red was coming, maybe I'd follow the Tybalt, but I didn't expect that to happen anyway. This guy's great, so I'm sad I don't have to play that. Unless we were to jump into blue, which I don't think is... Well, I mean, I will admit, it's a strong blue signal, which is kind of scary to ignore, because there's 3 awesome blue cards in this pack. This is great for humans, but we don't have enough, and the red human thing is not happening right now. So the question is, do we take a weaker card, Gloom Widow, which can't block ground, but it's 3/3 for 3, which is great, or do we risk getting into blue because our black is nothing much anyway? It's late to be blue, but the blue is coming, and blue is powerful. So we're looking at probably being 3 color if we do, but if we don't,
to go
Fettergeist is really good. 3/4 flyer that makes you you have to pay mana every turn for each other creature.
Oh.
So he doesn't play nice with other creatures, but he's freaking 3/4 flyer for 3. I mean, he's such a bigger board presence than this guy, and I just don't have enough cards in other colors that I care about them.
So now
we got a Wandering Wolf again, which is nice.
We
got this guy, which is decent.
And then you got the
counter. Still Wandering Wolf, and yeah, this is pretty trashy.
Okay.
There's not enough targeting of players for me to worry about it. The black is not so good. This is okay, but I'm still... I mean, my black is not horrible, but I just don't... I don't know. I'd just as soon keep pressure with wolves and... See, this guy's great because he's going to make my wolf bigger.
There you go.
And if I get more blue that can bounce stuff, then he can come back and put more counters on stuff. So...
Okay.
I'm not... Nothing good in red's coming. Some decent black is definitely coming. Like, sacrifice a creature. They sacrifice a creature, you get a creature back. It's awesome. This guy's definitely not bad, but I'm not jumping into white.
No.
I just, yeah.
Not at that.
So I'm okay with building up this little green army
There's
thing.
some green here. Is it any good?
Joint Assault is decent if you've got Soul Bonding, which we have 2. We're probably getting more. This is a bit slow. I don't like it because blue guys will bounce you, and then you'll have done all this. You'll have spent 7 mana to not accomplish anything.
4 equip.
Yeah, exactly. So it's either this or if we want to be black. The blue's not coming anymore, so we probably lost a pick there. But I'm safe. Just continue to pick up green.
Pull it from somebody else too.
Deathwind is great. We might have to finally just accept that. This is either going to be Abundant Growth or Deathwind. Abundant Growth will help us play any other colors. So that can be pretty useful for this deck.
You might because it looks like you're going at least.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I like Deathwind, but okay. This guy requires a decent amount of Soul Bond before he's useful, like 8, and we're not going to get there probably. So it's really...
We have 2 Soul Bonds?
We have 2 or 3. I'm considering...
What
which of these blue guys? Neither of them are high pressure, so I'm not crazy about them, but this guy gives hexproof, which is nice given the amount of removal we've been seeing. The real question is it this guy or is it jump into some demon that's not so great just because...
but I can't... What's the other blue, though?
He can untap, whereas this guy gives something a little more useful, hexproof.
Okay.
So we're back to the first pack. Of course, there's not much. There's the Ghostly Flicker, which goes well with our Timberling guide, but that's really a pretty limited synergy.
So it's going to be black, blue, green? Is that the final build?
That's probably what we're looking at. It's probably green. Yeah.
Final combat damage.
Another Necrobite. I do like Necrobite. This thing, I'm not crazy about it. I've seen it do some cool stuff, but some more Soul Bonding. This guy is good if we were trying to do this mill thing that we're not, even though we have that rare, so maybe it could work, but it's only 3/3 for 5. It doesn't even pump. Like, at least this guy pumps. Like, if we're playing this instead, which doesn't have any color requirement. So I'm probably not really playing any of these.
Well, another green body is good.
I could. I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if I ended up playing it. I don't think we're not big on humans, so this is not going to do much for us, but there's nothing else here.
Flying can't block creature control.
Yeah,
it's not.
Your opponent has to be all...
You'd have to be fighting. Well, there's one deck in there that you're going to...
I would rather... Yeah, I'm just... If I really want to pick up one of those, I'll probably have another chance, but... none of this is going to be that exciting, so... Triumph. So... And we got a sideboard card, which is good. This will take care of artifacts and enchantments, and... So we have some decent green. It's not exciting. We really want to see some of the more green uncommons. If all this cutting green doesn't pay off, this is interesting. This guy is odd. We probably take that. What else do we have here? Yeah, he's the rare. We got a Timberling guide, which is great.
Right.
Another Fettergeist, which is great. So I think that's what we're really considering. We could take Corpse Traders too. Corpse Traders is good. Let's look at this guy some more. I haven't even seen him played. So if he manages to hurt him, he's kind of a win more. But he has hexproof 4/4 for 5, which is good by itself.
And an interesting effect. But then
his likelihood of hitting is really low, and if you're hitting with him, you're probably already. The effect is probably not why you're going to win if he's hitting the other player.
Right. No, it's an early game move.
Whereas our green is so. I think he gives us a little more late game. Fettergeist probably wins more games overall, but he's okay. He's not really what our deck wants to be doing, though. Okay. He would be good as just a 3/3 for 4. I'm taking this just more because it's interesting to play with. Here's interesting choices because there's no green, which is really disappointing. But there's Divine Deflection, which I'm almost impossible for me to take at this point, but it does steal you games. And we do have an Abundant Growth, but we might not get any more.
Right.
I want to hide the red, and I want to cost sort, and probably let's just hide this white. Even if we were taking that, we probably wouldn't play the other thing. So we're probably not playing both this. We've got a decent curve. We're not playing both the Scrappers. I'm trying to consider Homicidal Seclusion is super good, but not great for green, where we're going to have a lot of creatures most likely.
Yeah.
So do we want to like sneak? This can be the late game.
If you have the Abundant Growth,
win.
You need another amount?
Well, we'll probably want to. This would be like a splash.
And there's no other black to pull?
Well, he's just not worth he's not the power level of these cards.
Okay.
I don't know. These two together are completely insane. Yeah, I'm gonna err on the side of not crazy mana. I'll probably lose to the Divine Deflection now. We're definitely not seeing. I don't know. It's not. This pack is really only good for red.
Joint Assault.
And Marrow Bats puts us in a really expensive place where we're getting just 2.
Yeah. Pay for life. Ooh.
Well, no, he's really good. I'm just questioning the multicolor commitment. I was hoping for more Soulbond. I was hoping all the cutting green would actually do something, and it hasn't really. I think we'll just take a Bone Splinters, which plays nice with Homicidal Seclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Here we're getting a little more Soulbond, which is good. The blue is almost. We're almost not playing this guy at this point.
Right.
Quite possibly,
well,
I think.
It was a good.
I think. Well, we didn't know for sure what was going to happen in this pack, but I guess so. The Peddler, I think, is going to be more relevant, especially with 2 joint. No, we only took 1 joint assault, did we? It's this guy or this guy, really. I mean, arguably it could be the Searchlight Geist or the Marrow Bats. Marrow Bats are not bad. They can do really horrible things to people. Yeah, but if we're not playing if we're not playing that many 5-drops, then it's not horrible. I think we're gonna be in we're going to a black town. So sadly, I kind of wanted more of the green. Deathwind. Now I'm not gonna say no to, but Butcher's Ghoul's really good with Bone Splinters. So we've got removal already. Do we take this removal or do we just take the Butcher's Ghoul?
Undying is...
He comes back as a 2/2, and then if he dies again, he's gone.
Okay.
So he goes well with the Sacrifice a Creature because you get him back.
Right.
Not really. Black is not the color I want to be in, but it's what's coming.
And then that enchantment is...
This is not much, and this guy comes back as 2 2/2s, which is nice.
Yeah.
But he's not as good as the removal. I think Deathwind overall is just going to be better than the Ghoul, and I don't have enough of the synergies with the Ghoul yet. Here's interesting choices. If we had more blue, if we had blue that had enter the battlefield effects, this might be useful because you can keep bringing the thing back over and over. It's really good with the Timberland guy, but we've only got 1 of them.
Right, and then
this guy's a huge finisher.
And then what's the?
And this guy will.
Wood?
He's just he's not as good as the other ones. No. This guy can kill stuff though, and he goes really well with the Bone Splinters. This guy could be our finisher, but. And I will say I'm not sure we're that strong in the finishing department, but we are weak in the 4-drop department. And this really only combos well with 1 of our dudes. Yeah. This guy does do... Yeah. 4-drop is 4-drop. Not much here. This is going to be far and away better than the other stuff, I think. This is kind of neat, but doesn't hurt creatures unless they're an artifact. Whereas this guy really powers up our Bone Splinters. So somehow we got suckered into the black deck. Grave Exchange is fine. It's remove some dudes. A late Corpse Trader is a great pickup for us. Driver of the Dead is going to bring back a ton of creatures, so he's perfect for the deck.
Really
and
landed in.
you got to take what you're past, you know, unfortunately. And, you know, this might be the sideboard card that helps. I don't think Sheltering Word is going to be the difference. I think the blue is going away from our deck.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I mean, maybe if I'd taken the other Fettergeist, I'd play both. I don't think we're going to need them at this point. I think we'll be okay.
So there's 3 more packs to go?
No, that's it.
Otherwise,
we're going to have like a mega... You're going to have a mega card selection.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's trash at this point.
So the Lone Revenant would have been interesting, but he is kind of a win more, not a... Not... Hunted Ghoul, probably not getting played. He can't block humans, and he's just a 2/1. The deck has some synergies, but it just really wanted at least another Timberland Guide, and it wanted some way. I mean, I didn't take the equipment, but Wandering Wolf really wants more ways to get bigger, and we don't have enough of them, unfortunately. So that's going to be not the strongest. Probably. Definitely. No. Yes, maybe. No. Yes, probably. Definitely. Okay, 22. You always come up a little short in this set. We got a Planeswalker out of the deal, sure. We've got an Abundant Growth in there. Are we splashing something else? We're really weak. I don't like to be so weak in the 3-drops. I think we got 14 creatures. We have this problem where Homicidal Seclusion wants our creatures to die, so we only have 1, and Necrobite wants to keep them around.
Right.
But Necrobite is pretty brutal. I think we could splash the Fettergeist, but...
And then pray for that Abundant Growth?
Abundant Growth or the blue. We'd put in, like, an island. See, the thing about our deck is there's only 1 double color, and it's super late, so... But our greens are really cheap, so we want a good mix of both, because we want to be able to play our green stuff early.
And there's nothing... How many cards do you have left?
We're actually there on cards. It's a question of if we want to swap something in or out. We're going to add lands, but... For
the Necrobite, I mean?
Well, temporarily, if we have the Necrobite in there, we're actually at 23, which is where we want to be. Roughly 15 creatures, roughly 8 spells.
Right.
Non-creature spells. We don't really have much benefit to playing that guy. We didn't get enough humans to play this thing. We weren't going for it anyway. It was just a late pickup.
And then what's Borrow Passage?
That's a sideboard against flyers. Like, if they are racing us, then we can make our guys unblockable. We've picked up a lot of random ass rares in this draft. Yeah, I just can't. The Fettergeist is the only. The Fettergeist and the Defang. Unless you're seeing some other synergy that I'm missing. Our curve is a little flat, but it has a lot of 2-drops, and it has a way to bring them back at least 1 time. So
the 4-point.
The other thing we're missing that, you know, if I knew I was going to be black, I would have grabbed, is there's a 3-drop that can sacrifice a creature, and then she gets an extra counter. So it's really good with these things that do things when they die, because she can force it to die, and then she gets bigger and blocks. And overall, this is not bad. It's just like. These poor Wandering Wolves don't have enough ways to get big. You could almost just cut a Wandering Wolf, but I don't know what you would put in its place, except maybe like another Scrapper or a splash of something. I think we can.
You're gonna do the, but you need that in the 2-dropper.
Yeah, I think we can start here, and then we might as well just go 9, 8, because we don't really need the double anything.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
See what happens.
See what happens.